I'm Barbara Britt, and I'm so glad you're joining me today. And we're going to talk about FOMO, the fear of missing out. And this is something that hits almost all of us, and it has a lot of consequences. So we're going to hit that today. Before we get started, I'm going to tell you a little bit. I'm a motivational speaker that comes to you with action steps. You will never hear me speak, do training, or anything else that I don't give you a couple of things to get started until you are ready to step in for your own purpose and to move where you want to go. Be more intentional about your movement. So action steps. I do consulting with businesses where I go in and work on culture change. Think about this. What if when you walked into a business, or you were part of a business, or you're the CEO of a business, and everybody's excited to get there on Monday because they know that their skills and talents are going to be utilized, that they're going to be heard, that when they offer up something, that people really accept it, and that they can go out and make an effective change. And then at the last, I do professional coaching, and this is something that allows me to go one-on-one with a person and to walk beside them, give them action steps, help hold them accountable, help to motivate them. It allows me to be creative so that I can help somebody walk in their purpose, not mine. I can really listen. I can walk in empathy and know that their steps are different than mine, but that I can be that person that they can feed back to and they can grow. So I love being able to do that. Today, I'm going to talk to you about FOMO. We already just said that just a second ago. But FOMO is the fear of missing out. And this is something that grabs almost all around the world. But it's really big in America. It's really big with us. I always like to start off with quotes, and the reason I do, again, is I think quotes give you more eyes on a subject. It makes you open your eyes up to a thought process. And depending on the day that you read that quote, that's one of my favorite ones. The day that you read that quote, you can perceive it so differently, and you can utilize it differently. So the first quote I want to give to you, and it's anonymous, and it says, "We travel not to escape life, but for life not to escape us." And that's enough. And I want you to think about that. We travel not to escape life, but for life not to escape us. Because when we are stationary, we are dying. If we're not going out and seeking and building and going, then we're just trying to catch a FOMO. We're just trying to live somebody else's life. And that's not where we need to be. So that's what that quote, and I want you to write it down, because I'd like for you to go back and think about it and answer me back. Let me know what you're thinking about it. I have a website. I have, my YouTube channel, website, Facebook site, Barbara J. Britt, website, barbarabritt.com. So you can get a hold of me. I want to know your thoughts, because it's going to help me to grow and to be the person that I should be. The second quote that I really like, it says, "You are free to choose, but you are not free from the consequences of your choice." You are free to choose, but you are not free from the consequences of your choice. And I love that, and it makes you think about that. If I choose to live in FOMO, the fear of missing out, I want to be just like the Joneses. They've got a new car. They have a new boat. And I keep on going. It causes us a lot of problems. In the United States, started around 1950, when people started having a little more accessible money. And then when our credit cards come, then I deserve to live way beyond my means. I deserve to worry about those payments that have to come in. It's kind of almost a joke, really. But FOMO, the fear of missing out, it's such a big word that in 2013 it's been added to the Oxford Dictionary. It's been added to the Oxford Dictionary, which I kind of think is just funny. So we have FOMO, we have JOMO, and then the last thing I'm going to speak to you about is SOMO. So we're going to come all the way across the different areas, and we're going to keep growing. The reason that FOMO can be so dangerous is it kind of leads us to a sense of envy. And when I am envious of you, I want to tear down or bring you back down to where I perceive I'm at. I'm not trying to build you up. I'm not happy for that. And once I stay in envy, I am not growing at all. At all. So I want to make sure I stay out of FOMO because of envy, number one. Number two, it affects my self-esteem. It makes me feel less than. because I'm always going to find, no matter where I go in life, no matter what I do, no matter what I attain in life, someone is going to do it differently than I do, more successfully maybe than I do. Someone's going to do it in a different level. But if I don't feel love for myself, pride in what I accomplished, I'm never going to be enough. I know, but I could have done that. I know, but I could have done that. But what did you really create? What did you do? Those are important. The next is that because of social media, it exaggerates everything. You know, they have the best marriage. They are having the most fun. This product will take away. We're chasing social media. But what happens with that is we're never going to meet up to the expectations. Our skin's never going to be flawless. We're never really going to look 20 years younger. We're never, just because we drive that new car doesn't mean I'm going to build that relationship with someone. Just because, so what it does is it makes us chase, and a constant chase where we never really attain what we think. How many of you have ever wanted something and knew it would change your life if you got it? No sooner do you get it home, and all of a sudden the little sparkle dust starts to fall off onto your floor, right? So think about FOMO in your social media, because that can drive that fear of missing out. It drives it. So let's take about some tips to make you free of living FOMO. First of all, something that's the first one is hard for me, and it's slow down. Well, because of the virus and because of some different things, I've still been able to come into work every day because my building I'm social distance in here. And so I get to come to work, but it's slowed it down. And when I heard so much negative, I thought, okay, what can I do about it? So I started taking pictures out from my front porch in the morning and my back porch in the evening, and started just showing some things of beauty. And then some friends started showing some things, and we've just shared it back and forth. So it caused me to slow down. I always wanted to live on the water, and I've lived there for 25 years. It's just been in this last 4 to 5 months that I slowed down enough to enjoy the beauty that I wanted all along. It's there. It's unbelievable. Every single night, the sunset is different, and every single morning, the sunrise is different, and it gives me something. So slow down a little bit. Next one would be practice discernment. I have to look at something because perception can kill us. If I perceive it as something, then in my mind and everything else, it is so. And a lot of times there's no data that tells you that. So practice discernment. Are the Joneses really living better because they have that? If I get that, is it really going to change my life? Or if I kept that money and I put it towards something that I wanted, or something that I'm going to need in the long run, or my child's college, is it going to serve me better? So discernment. And I found with discernment, I have to really sit back, get quiet. Discernment is when I come into myself. I may look up things, I might research it and all, but really when it comes down to it, discernment is I'm coming into myself. Next one would be go for the experience, not the symbol. Since I got out of teaching and started my own business, could have time to be on boards. Well, my first board I got on, and it wasn't something that I just loved and passionate about. It was important. But because I went on the board to be a board person, to have that name, I never could give them really what I should have given them. And because of that, I didn't grow as a person. So don't ever do something for the symbol. Do it because it is something that is vitally important to you, and you can make a difference with it. Be willing not to experience everything. Next one, be willing not to have the same experience all in one time. You know, I love to speak, and I love to train, and I like to do things like that. And what I do is I set up parameters so that I can go back and forth. I can work in that, but I still stay in my area of leadership. I stay in my areas of, and in leadership, You have your values. So I still stay in that realm because it's not possible for me to have it all at the same time and do a good job of it. So I have to build. And that's what I'm doing. That's what you have to do. We all have to build. Do one thing at a time. Again, something very difficult. I love having all the little balls up in the air. But be willing to do one thing at a time and making that your best. But not only making it your best, but experience it. Not what your neighbors are experiencing, but what you're experiencing. Practice mindfulness, being present in that time, being present in that satisfaction. How many of you get something, you're really excited, and then you throw it over to the side? Remember, the sparkle dust starts sprinkling off. Don't even look at something about that with the sparkle dust on it. Think about how it's going to nourish you, how it's going to nourish your soul. And then prioritize your relationships over acquisitions. Sometimes we're so busy winning that championship, and that would be me, that sometimes I would sacrifice things for a trophy that when I no sooner got home and put the trophy up on the wall or the field house for the girls' field house, then I was done with that. And you have to look back. Am I sacrificing relationships for shiny objects? Go with the relationships. Put that energy to build those. So those are something that will sustain you and something you can make a difference on with other people. So savor the moments. The next one, linger. I now sit out on the porch until 8 o'clock at night when I take my pictures and all, and it's too dark to do anything else. I'm savoring that moment instead of going in or watching TV or doing something like that. I savor the moment, that peace, that tranquility. I start planning my next day. I put things in order, but I savor the moment. This one is a big one with me. Cultivate an attitude of gratitude. I started doing this in October of 2019, and it has been the best experience of my life. It took me about 30 days, a little under 30 days to make a habit of it. Every day I get up and I am thankful. I'm in gratitude for what I have. Even if it's in gratitude for experiencing failure that's helped me to get back up again. So cultivate, that attitude of gratitude. And once you do it, it goes really fast and you're great with it. The next one, the last one is enjoy the process. Boy, is that not something else? It's hard for me to enjoy the processes if I'm just trying to keep up with the Joneses. Because I don't know what their process was to be able to get that new car. I don't know what their process was to work for years and years to get something and have joy with that. I don't. So enjoy your process. And the last thing I'd like to leave you with on FOMO is something that we should all grow out of. But the last thing I want to leave you with is a quote, and it says, stop being afraid of what could go wrong and think of what could go right. Stop thinking about what could go wrong and think about what could go right. Let's get away from FOMO. Remember, you're worth it. You were not put on this earth to keep up with somebody else. You were put here to reach your purpose, to be the best that your uniqueness could be. So I'm going to leave you with that today. Again, join my website, barbarabritt.com. But I know out there you can leave FOMO behind and that you have so much to offer. And we individually all need to know what you have to offer. Thank you so much.